Today we are going to discuss about simple interest. First of all, we will talk about the concept of interest. Make it very clear that the concept of interest arises due to the transaction of money. Transaction of money between two type of persons, the borrower and the lender. Money transaction is the reason for the concept of interest. Now money transaction, this is only not the factor. The major factor which decide the interest concept is the aim of making profit. The aim of making profit in sense of money. Alright. First of all, we will define two terms, the borrower and the lender. The person who borrows the money is called the borrower. Second is the lender. The person who lends the money is known as lender. These both persons are directly linked because between them. Initially, the lender, this half arrow sign represents the flow of money. So initial flow of money is from lender to borrower, and the final flow of money is from borrower to lender. So this sign represents the flow of money. First half of this sign is represents at the initial stage, lender lends the money to borrower, and at the final step, borrower return back that money to the lender. This is final step. Now in this whole transaction of money, there is an aim of making profit. Aim of making profit is the main concept that rises the phenomena of interest. Alright. The lender lends the money to the borrower to make profit. He lends the money to borrower to use that money for certain period of time, and the borrower after completion of that period of time return back the money along with the extra amount of money. That extra amount of money is known as interest. Alright, and that is the profit which lender makes by the circulation of the main amount of money. Main amount of money is the money which the lender initially lends to the borrower, and the extra amount of money along with the main amount of money which the borrower pay back to the lender is known as interest. That extra amount of money is known as interest. Alright. Now the third term which we have to learn is interest. First of all, we will learn about, before learning about the concept of interest, first of all we will learn about the concept of principal. The sum of money borrowed by the borrower from the lender is known as principal. Now the fourth point which arises is the concept of interest. What is the definition of interest? It is the extra amount of money or the additional amount of money, the additional amount of money paid by the borrower to the lender for using the lender's money other than the principal, means this money, this additional amount of money which the borrower is paying back to the lender should be other than the main amount. Main amount is principal. The principal sum of money which he is paying back to the lender, other than that, the additional amount of money which he is paying is known as interest. Alright, principal and interest are two different things. Principal he has to pay. He must have to pay to the lender, and the extra amount of money, the additional amount of money which he is paying back along with the principal is known as, that extra amount is known as interest. Alright. Now the concept arises about the simple interest. What is simple interest? Interest is being called as simple if it is calculated on the original principal. Principal is the initial amount of money which borrower takes from the lender. Interest is called simple interest if it is calculated on that principal throughout the loan period. Alright. The loan is the phenomena of lending the money to the borrower. Interest is called as simple if it is calculated on the principal throughout the time period of loan or the loan period. Now the formula for calculating the simple interest, which is also abbreviated as SI, is SI is equals to principal multiplied by rate of interest multiplied by time in years divided by 100, or in short it is written as SI is equals to P is written as P, principal is written as capital P, rate is written as capital R, time is written as capital T divided by 100. So SI is equals to P multiplied by R multiplied by T divided by 100. Now you are familiar with what is principal and what is time, but you don't know what is this rate of interest, which I am denoting here as capital R. R is rate of interest. So a complex definition which is in language form for rate of interest is that rate of interest is the factor which determines how the principal sum of money varies in accordance to the passage of time. Alright. Rate of interest is that factor which determines the variation of principal sum of money, or just the principal. Here this principal is the initial amount of money which the borrower takes from the lender. So the rate of interest is the factor which determines the variation of principal in accordance to the passage of time. One more simple definition for rate of interest being that rate of interest, which is R%, rate of interest which is R%, if given in per annum. The condition for the implementation of this definition is the rate of interest must be given in per annum. Per annum means for 1 year. Annum is year. So per annum means per year. So if R% is the rate of interest given for 1 year or per annum, then its definition being that it means that R rupees, capital R, which is the rate of interest in percentage, that much amount of rupees, R, capital R rupees, extra or additional. Additional means they should be other than principal. It means that R rupees extra or additional is to be given or is to be paid back by the lender, by the borrower, not by the lender, by the borrower to the lender after completion of 1 year. So you can see that this definition is simple, but it is bounded by so many constraints. For defining this definition, which is R rate of interest, R percent, that means it is the R rupees has to be extra or additionally paid back after the completion of 1 year as simple interest. So this definition is bounded by two constraints. The constraint being that if the rate of interest is given in per annum and the time period for the loan is 1 year and the principal amount for this case is 100 rupees. Alright. So instead of being bounded by three conditions, this definition is bounded, instead of being bounded by two conditions, this definition is bounded by three conditions. The condition number 1 is principal must be 100 rupees. The second condition is the rate of interest must be given for per annum, means per year period of time, and it is equals to R rupees, means the simple interest is equals to R rupees after 1 year. So we have three conditions for the implementation of this definition. The principal should be 100 rupees. First condition, the rate of interest, which is R percent per annum, it should be given in per annum, in terms of per annum. And the third condition is time period is 1 year. Both the definitions are correct, but the first definition is more complex in terms of language and second definition is more simple as comparison with first definition, but it uses three extra conditions or the constraint. Alright, now you will derive the formula for simple interest, which we have earlier noted that simple interest is equals to principal multiplied by rate multiplied by time divided by 100. We will use the second definition of rate of interest for deriving this formula. The second definition of rate of interest states that if principal is, which I am denoting here as P, 100 rupees and rate of interest for loan is R percent and it is given in per annum, in terms of per annum. R percent per annum is, that means that the loan is calculated yearly after a period of 1 year. So principal is 100 rupees, rate of interest for loan is R percent per annum and time period is 1 year. Then our definition states that the simple interest is equals to R rupees. Now you can see here that I can use the unitary method. The basic unitary method states that if P is equals to 100 rupees, then SI is equals to R rupees. That means if P is equals to 1 rupees, by using unitary method, I can claim that simple interest is equals to R divided by 100 rupees. Alright. And if P is equals to, where P is principal, the LHS of this equation represent the principal and the RHS is P rupees. This LHS represent the principal and the RHS represent the amount of principal, which is P rupees I am assuming. Then SI is equals to P multiplied by R divided by 100 rupees. This here we comes to a formula that simple interest for 1 year is equals to P multiplied by R divided by 100 rupees, where P used in this formula is equals to the principal sum of money, or the principal which the borrower takes from the lender, and R is the rate of interest given in percentage for 1 year. Or it is given per annum. Don't be confused. If rate of interest is given for 1 year, it is same as writing as rate of interest per annum. Alright. Annum is year. So per annum means per year, means for 1 year. So SI for 1 year on a principal of P with the rate of interest R% is P multiplied by R divided by 100 rupees. Now you can see that here we use the time period of 1 year. Now simply by using the unitary method, I can calculate the formula for T years. As you know, for 1 year the simple interest is P multiplied by R upon 100 rupees. Then for T years, SI is equals to P multiplied by R divided by 100 multiplied by T rupees. This is the formula for SI, where P represents the principal sum of money or just the principal, R represents the rate of interest given in percentage for 1 year or per annum, and T represents the number of years. Alright, here we have derived the formula for SI as P multiplied by R multiplied by T divided by 100 rupees. Now comes the concept of amount. Amount is the total sum of money which the borrower has to pay back to the lender after the completion of loan period. What I have said is amount is the total sum of money. Total sum of money means it includes the principal and the interest. It is the total sum of money which the borrower has to pay back to the lender after the completion of loan period. So as you know, the definition of interest is that it is the extra amount of money which the borrower has to pay back. So this extra amount of money is added with the principal, and it becomes the amount which the borrower has to pay back to the lender after the completion of loan period. So amount is the total sum of money, and it is the summation of principal and interest. So we have assumed in our formulas principal is denoted as capital P and simple interest we have calculated as P multiplied by R multiplied by T divided by 100. So the amount is capital P plus capital P multiplied by R multiplied by T divided by 100. This P here represents the principal, and this P multiplied by R multiplied by T divided by 100 represent the interest. Both are in rupees, alright, or in the units of money. Now you will see some examples based on the formula and the concept of simple interest. Example number 1. A sum of money rupees 800 is lent for 1 year. So time is 1 year. The question says that a sum of money rupees 800 is lent for 1 year at the rate of 18% per annum. Then find the interest. So we can use both the methods, either use the unitary method for this or use direct the formula for simple interest. First of all, we will calculate the simple interest directly using the formula. The formula states that simple interest equals to principal multiplied by rate of interest multiplied by time period of loan divided by 100, and rate of interest must be in percentage. Here R is in percentage and T is given in years, number of years. So T is equals to number of year, which is given in the question as 1, and R given in percentage is 18 per annum for 1 year, and P, which is principal, is given as rupees 800. The sum of money which is lented is rupees 800. So simple interest using the formula is P, which is 800, multiplied by R, which is 18, multiplied by 1, which is the time period 1 year, divided by 100. This becomes rupees 144. So our question is calculate the simple interest. So simple interest is 144, rupees 144. If this question is otherwise and it asks that calculate the amount which the borrower has to pay back to the lender after the completion of loan period, which is 1 year, then amount is equals to principal plus interest, and principal is rupees 800, and we have calculated the interest as rupees 144. So amount is rupees 800 plus rupees 144, which is rupees 944. This much amount of money, totally this much amount of money the borrower has to pay back to the lender after 1 year. So you can see that it includes both the principal and the simple interest. Now calculating this interest using the unitary method. What does our unitary method states? It states that if R is the rate of interest given in percentage for 1 year, so in this case R is given as 18% per annum, or for 1 year, and principal is 800, rupees 800. Then unitary method states that if principal is 100 rupees, then SI, or the simple interest, is equals to R, which is rupees 18, if it is given in per annum for a time period of 1 year. So if P is equals to rupees 100, this implies that SI is equals to rupees 18. That means if P is equals to 1 rupees, SI is equals to 18 divided by 100 rupees. So if P, which is in our case is given as rupees 800, is equals to 800, P is equals to 800, then SI is equals to 800 multiplied by 18 divided by 100. This much amount of interest the borrower has to pay back to the lender after 1 year. So for 1 year, simple interest is 800 multiplied by 18 divided by 100, which is rupees 144. Now we can see in the question that we have to calculate the interest for 1 year, because the loan period is already given as 1 year. So this is the only answer of the question. Alright, you can see that by both the methods, the unitary method and the formula, we have get the same result of SI is equals to rupees 144. And you can also see that the unitary method is a long method. So instead of using unitary method onwards, we directly use the formula for calculating the simple interest. Now example number 2. Someone has borrowed rupees 400 from his friend at the rate of interest given in percentage as 12% per annum. Now calculate the interest and amount paid by the person to his friend after 2.5 years. That means the time period being 2.5 years. Let us see the solution of this question. The amount of money or the principal sum of money which is lent on loan is rupees 400. That means principal is equals to 400. You can also solve this question using unitary method, but that is a long method. Instead of using that, we use directly the formula of simple interest, because simple interest formula is derived by using the unitary method. It is a consequence of unitary method. So both are same. So instead of going for a long method, we will directly use the formula of simple interest for calculating SI. Principal is given here as rupees 400 and rate of interest in percentage for per annum is given as 12, and time period is given as 2.5 years. If it is converted into a fraction, proper fraction, we get 5/2 years. It is a mixed fraction. We will convert it into a proper fraction. We get t is equals to 5/2 years. Directly using the formula for SI, which is P multiplied by R multiplied by T divided by 100. Putting the values of P, R and T. Here P is rupees 400, R is in percentage 12 and T is 5/2 whole divided by 100. Here you can see that the numerator, in the numerator, this 2 is cancelled with this 12 with a factor of 6. So the numerator reduces as 400 multiplied by 60, 400 multiplied by 6 multiplied by 5 divided by 100. This 400 in the numerator get cancelled with the 100 in the denominator by a factor of 4. Multiplying 4, 5 and 6, we get simple interest is equals to rupees 120. This is the simple interest or the extra amount of money other than the principal sum of money which the borrower has to pay back to the lender after the completion of loan period, which is 2.5 years. So simple interest we have calculated using the formula is equals to rupees 120. In the question we have asked about both the simple interest and the amount. So amount is equals to principal plus interest. And you can see the principal is given in the question is equals to rupees 400 and we have calculated the interest as rupees 120. So amount is equals to principal plus interest means rupees 400 plus rupees 120. It is equals to rupees 520. This question is also manipulated using unitary method, but that being a long method. Alright, so we have used directly the formula for simple interest. Let us see one more example. Find the interest on rupees 1200. Find the interest on rupees 1200 at 6% per annum for 146 days. Don't get tensed by seeing this type of time period, 146 days. We can easily convert number of days in number of years. As you know, 1 year is equals to 365 days. Then by using unitary method, I can write 1 by 365 years is equals to 1 day, and we have given 146 days. So using unitary method, 146 days is equals to 146 divided by 365 years. Alright, you can see that 146 days does not complete a whole year, or 146 days are less than the number of days that are in 1 year. And as you can see that 146 divided by 365 is equals to 2 by 5. Cancel the common factor between the numerator and denominator. I get 2 in the numerator and 5 in the denominator. So 146 divided by 365 years means 2 by 5 year. As you can see that 2 by 5 is a number which is less than 1. It is a fraction which is less than 1. So we have get the correct result for 146 days as 2 by 5 year, because 146 days are less number of days than the number of days in a whole year. So we are getting 2 by 5 year is equivalent for 146 days, and it is clearly seen here that 2 by 5 is less than 1 year. So time period of loan is 2 by 5 year. Now we can calculate the simple interest using the formula P multiplied by R multiplied by T divided by 100. Here P is given as rupees 1200, R is given as 6% per annum, and T is 2 by 5 year whole divided by 100. In the numerator we can see that this 1200 gets cancelled with 5 with a factor of 240. In the numerator we have remained with 240 multiplied by 6 multiplied by 2, and in the denominator it is 100. This is the sum of simple interest, or the money as the simple interest which the borrower has to pay back to the lender. Cancelling the common factors between the numerator and denominator, I can see that interest is equals to 24 multiplied by 6 divided by 5, which is equals to 28.8 rupees. So simple interest on a sum of money rupees 1200 at 6% per annum for 146 days is equals to 28.8 rupees. If the amount is also being asked in the question, then amount is equals to principal plus interest, and our principal is rupees 1200 and interest we have calculated as 28.8 rupees. This is equals to 1228.8 rupees. This much amount, or the total money, the borrower has to pay back to the lender.